the instructions on actually how to design the segments of our mandala. So first of all, we need to acknowledge the part of the assessment task is to have your design needs to be asymmetric, okay? So it can't be symmetric. So first of all, we need to find out what the difference is between those. By looking at these two examples, we can see that the first one is symmetric, meaning that it's evenly balanced. As you can see, like on both sides, I might actually use this pointer, that's fun. So on both sides, it's exactly the same if we cut it down the middle. And the one on the right here, the asymmetric one, or asymmetric, it's unbalanced. It's not the same on both sides when it's split. So they're the difference at the moment. We want to be focusing on this one, okay? So symmetrical versus asymmetric. So the pink paw print over here is symmetrical, meaning it's evenly balanced and identical when split down the middle. So the purple paw print is asymmetrical. We know this because it's slightly unbalanced and cut down the middle. There's more happening over here, and this is slightly further up. And it's not the exact same on both sides of the center line. So here is a finished mandala. So to make a finished mandala like so on the left, you need to first plan and design a segment piece, which is one of these. We could also call that a pizza slice if you'd like. The image on the right here is a segment that has been mirrored, so it's been flipped over. Therefore, it's two segments together. So just one of these is one segment, and this has been flipped, so this is actually two segments together. These two segments are then repeated the whole way around the mandala, as you can see. See this bit? Here it is here, and repeated here again and again. As you can see, we will be using tinted colors. So this is the tinted side, and then so it's lighter. And then we'll be using shaded side colors on this side or whatever. As long as it's opposite, doesn't matter which side you put the tint or the shade. But you do need to use tint and shading when choosing your colors. So today, for our lesson, we need to be looking at what's an incorrect design and a correct design, because we are going to be designing one of these today. So you have been given a page of examples that are incorrect design segments. So these are what not to do, this page. So symmetrical designs, which if cut down the middle, which is this one, are not the exact same, so are the same on both sides. So that means they're really boring. We don't want to do this. The example in the middle has a half-drawn M here. Can you see that? So when it actually needs to be an enclosed shape, because we actually need to have shapes. So symmetrical, don't do that. And we need to have filled in shapes, so that this is so you can actually color inside the shapes, because you have to color this all in. And you can't color in a line, can you? So you need to color inside a shape. Also, too complicated, this one. Please do not make your designs too complicated. You are going to transfer these segments 16 times, remember? So imagine transferring that 16 times, trying to color that in 16 times. It's actually going to be a headache for you, so please don't do that. These are nice shapes over here. This is cute. Some of these would work, just don't have it on both sides. So if you're having shapes like this on one side, on the other side, change it up. So as you can see, when you use a mirror, you can check to see if your design is too symmetrical, which is boring. Use a mirror from the front of the room. There should be one on the front desk somewhere to check the reflection of the design. If it is exactly the same shapes like the whole way around, you need to be starting a new design. Don't choose that design. You will not be allowed to make a mandala that has asymmetric design. So if it's the exact same on both sides of your segment, you are not allowed to actually continue on with the assessment if it's the same. Okay, so see how this is actually asymmetric. It's different on both sides, but it just needs to have shapes. Okay, shapes. So even these little lines around here of the sun, they also need to be shapes, like little rectangles. So this is the correct page. These are the correct designs we should be following. So these are what you should do, all right? These are all great. So the first example is asymmetrical. Yay! That means it's interesting. It's going to create whole new shapes once you mirror the design, okay? So if you put a mirror here, that means you're going to have a whole new shape here and lots of different shapes. So it's actually all going to be a little bit more different, not just the same the whole way around. So shapes, yay! Shapes are absolutely necessary in your design. So try to make them large and simple. Nice and large and simple. Please make sure you're doing that. The majority of your shapes should try to lead off the edge of your segment, like these ones all here are. This is so they create whole new shapes when you draw in the second mirrored segment, if you can recall mine. But yes, so try to make sure your shapes are leading off the edge, okay? This is so they can be mirrored and it'll look way cooler. So as you can see, when we hold up the mirror here to add segment, we can get a glimpse of how the drawn design will create lots of whole new shapes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so you also have the option to change the edge of your segment over here. This too adds a level of interest to your mandala. You don't have to, you can keep it just a straight, normal circle. But to be honest, the changed edge, it does look really cool. It is optional. You don't have to just do this same style. You can do like a whole, even just like, or even like, oh, you know what? A lightning bolt would look pretty cool. Something like that. So you will receive one of these blank planning pages for your segment today. You need to complete 3 designs. So this is only one of 16, so 1 of 16th. So you only need to design it once, and then we're tracing it many times. So make sure there's shapes and no broken lines, so all of your designs are filled in, like all your lines match or meet another line. And keep it simple, so don't make it too complicated on these 3, please. Have a go at least trying to make one of yours go over the edge to make it different and interesting. So once you have done that, I need to check one of these when you next see me, and I'll help you choose which one will work best. So can you see how my planned design segment has been used to complete this mirrored set of segments to the right here? Okay, so this is the same design, yay, but then it's just been flipped over. So this is what our goal is, to make many of these. Okay, so we need to use one of these as a template. So this is a template. So we can see that it's followed the correct criteria. It's symmetric, meaning like it's all different on both sides. There are large, simple shapes on here. And I've also added the bonus changed edge. So try not to overthink it, but just think about big shapes that are also interesting, that lead off the edge so that you can create new shapes over here. Ooh. Cool. So at a later date, I will show you how to use your template, this thing, to trace and transfer your planned design onto your mandala circle. So we've all drawn our circle. This is our main piece with a nice paper. And we're going to use this to then trace it 16 times on here. So wait until you have been told to actually go ahead with this step. You need to wait until you've been given the green light and until I've seen your work. So can we see now why it was so important that we got our measurements right? Otherwise, this would not work. You would have lots of your segments overlapping and it would just be not that fun, okay? That's why it's so important. So now to begin with this lesson, you're going to grab these materials. So hopefully we're ready now and you can begin your segment, to design your segment. So please remember that this will be our template. So we are not coloring in on this planning sheet. Do not color in on this. Only be using a HB pencil or a 2H pencil here at the moment. Do not color it in. Only grab these materials here and do not cut out anything until I have checked your design personally. So consider using organic shapes in your design. Think about maybe leaf shapes, teardrops, circles, swirls, spirals, flames, lightning bolts, zigzags, triangles, petal shapes, ovals, star shapes, love hearts. There's so many different shapes that you need to be, or that you could consider. So try to make yours nice and simple, unique, and like no one else's, okay? At a later date, we will watch this video and we will learn how to cut out our template and trace our final design. So we will do this at a later date. So today, you just need to have 3 planned designs like so. And that is all. Thank you.